those of you who don't know, my name is Miss Robinson and I teach 3rd grade math in HISD, and I have the opportunity to teach you guys math this year. So last week we went over some 2nd grade concepts for place value, right? We reviewed a lot of pictorial form and base 10 blocks, and then we kind of just reviewed a little bit of stuff from 2nd grade. This year we're going to really move on to some more of the 3rd grade content. So we're going to continue with place value, but we're just going to expand on what we did already this week. Our objective today is I can compose and decompose numbers up to 100,000 by using pictorial form, expanded form, and expanded notation. Let's do that again. I can compose. Remember, compose means to build something, to create it, put it together, and decompose, which means to break it apart, numbers up to 100,000. Let's say that again together. 100,000. Now I want you to try up to 100,000 by using pictorial form. Pictorial form is just a fancy word for pictures. Expanded form and expanded notation. So if we're looking at our objective today, we notice that we see two things that are new to us from last week. Expanded form and expanded notation. We might remember a little bit of it from 2nd grade, but we're really going to go deeper into it this week. So first, let's just review what we talked about last week. This is our unit cube. Our unit cube. If we say this has a value of 1, which it could have a value of whatever we want it to, we say it has a value of 1 to help us build up our next ones. This is our rod, and if this unit has a value of 1, let's see how much the value is of our rod. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our rod has a value of 10, but it also has 10 groups of 1. We have our pictures over here. So our rod has 10 groups of 1, and I'm going to add that its value is 10. Excellent. Now let's move on. We have our flat. We talked about our flat last week. We have a picture of it. If our rod is worth 10, let's see how many rods will fit into our flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 groups of 10 because this has a value of 10. So let's skip count by 10s to see how much is our flat worth. We know there's 10 groups of 10 in it, but let's see how much it's worth. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So our flat today is worth 100. So I'm just going to write a little 100 under it so I know the value of it. Now our thousands cube is more three-dimensional than our other figures. And I want to know the value of it. If this flat is worth 100, I'm going to just do it on top like this. But remember, it would be filling this whole thing up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 100s. So we have 10 groups of 100 in our thousands cube, which we have right here, 10 groups of 100. And if I were to skip count, I'm going to use my fingers for this time because that's kind of hard to see with it. I'm going to skip count by 100s to see how much that thousands cube is worth. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. So this thousands cube is named correctly because it has a value of 1,000. And I need to make sure I'm adding that comma between the 100 and the 1,000 when I start getting to the thousands. Now, the next place value we're going to go over, we don't actually have anything physically for it because it's so big. We could create one, but I don't have the space right here to create one. So I'll start to show you. We're going to make this, that is a 10,000. So if I were to put 10 of these thousands cubed together, 2,000, 3,000, and if I were to make 10 of them together, it would be like this long, right? So I'm going to skip count by thousands to see how much the 10,000 is worth. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. It's worth 10,000. And the way we write 10,000 is just to add another place to it. So we have this one worth 10,000. We're not going to move to the 100,000 quite yet for this chart. So I just want us, I'm going to bring this over. If you want to take a picture of it, you want to look at it. If you think there's something you would like to add to it, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to remove it now. So now we've got our pictorial form for this. I just wanted to give us a foundation to start with pictorial form. We're not really going to focus on pictorial form. We're going to focus more on our expanded form and expanded notation today. But I want us to build up what we already remember from last week and just add to it a little bit so we're more comfortable with the 10,000s and the thousands. Last week, we created a place value chart. Place value chart, that is something we can use every day in our class, no matter if we're going over place value or other numbers. So we have our ones place, our tens place, our hundreds place. I added the next one, which is our thousands. Look how I have this O for ones, because I'm just going to show you what our abbreviations would be like, at least for me, what they are. Our T for tens and our H for hundreds. Now our thousands, we already have a T for tens, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a TH. So we know it's our thousands place. Thousands. And now remember, we can not forget between our hundreds and our thousands is a comma. We always put that comma there. Always, 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 always. Now, from what I want us to think for a second. We just went over a pictorial form of ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. I want us to think, what do I think comes after thousands? I'm going to give you guys a minute to think about what would be the next digit or unit, place value, sorry, the next place value. So notice any patterns. Place value has patterns in it. Our next place value is 10,000s. Look up. Well, we go from ones to tens. We go from thousands to 10,000s. 10,000. And for this abbreviation, I just do T-TH. 10,000s place. Now I want us to think again. If I wanted to expand on this even more, to go to this place value, the last one that I have here, it goes on forever, but the last one I have here for third grade, let's look at the patterns I'm seeing. Think about what we're talking about. What do I think is next after 10,000? We have 100,000, our 100,000s place. 100 thousandths place. So, and for this abbreviation, I just do H/TH. You won't see a lot of numbers going up to 100,000 in third grade. You'll see it more in fourth grade, but it's really important to know what comes next. We need to know after 10 thousandths is 100 thousandths. When I'm saying these numbers, I need to wait to say my thousand, the word thousand, until I get to the comma. That's very important when we're saying these numbers. That will help us later on when we get to word form, which we're not going over today. So let's just look at this place value chart. It's going to look very similar to this when we do practice problems later to help us with our expanded form and our expanded notation. I'm going to put this away. The first thing that we're gonna, the first concept for our expanded form and expanded notation is gonna be expanded form. You did learn about expanded form in second grade, but we probably didn't go over it very long, so we're gonna kind of just review a little bit. I want you to think back to second grade and think if you can remember what expanded form is, what it might look like. If you happen to have a piece of paper, maybe you can write down what you remember about it. Maybe write down 2 things that sound familiar about expanded form. Maybe it's an example. Maybe it's just something you remember about it. Whatever you can think of, I'm going to give you a minute to write it down. And maybe if you have someone next to you, you can talk to them about it. If you have your brother or sister or a cousin or your mom or your dad or your grandma, anyone, you can talk to them about what you think you remember about expanded form. Expanded form is breaking apart a number using place value and addition. It's just breaking apart a number by its place value using addition. And so let's write an example. I'm going to use that place value chart to write my number. So if I had the number 317, I'm going to write this. 317 is my example. Before I do anything, Miss Robinson knows I need to put it in a place value chart. Yes, maybe I know how to take this apart because I've been doing this for a long time, but we always put it in a place value chart because that helps us make sure we're getting the correct answer. So I'm going to write that place value chart. We have our ones place, our tens place, and our hundreds place. And if we needed to, we could add more place values to that, but I know I'm only going to the hundreds today. I'm going to put my number in, 317. So now I'm going to break it apart by its place value. I'm going to look first in the hundreds place. You can start anywhere, but we normally, when we do expanded form, we start in the biggest place value. You don't have to, but this is how we're going to do it today. I see I have 3 hundreds. So that's 100, 200, 300. I have 300. And I'm literally just going to write the number 300. I have 300. And then I'm going to write an addition sign, plus. So I have 300 plus. Now let's go to the next place, which is our tens place. How many tens do you see? There's 1 10. So if I only have 1 10, that's 10, right? 10. So I'm going to write 300 plus 10. And then I'm going to go to this last place that I have today, which is the ones, plus 7. I have 7 ones. So I have 300 plus 10 plus 7. And if I were to add those together, I need to make sure that this is the number I get. I'm not changing my number. I'm just breaking it apart and representing it differently. So if I don't have the same number 317, then I did something wrong. So on the side, I'm going to just add. I need to make sure to line up my numbers. I have 300, and I always line them up by the decimal, which we don't use decimals in 3rd grade, so we use the ones place. Plus 10 plus 7. Make sure they're all lined up nicely. 0 plus 0 is 0 plus 7. So 0 plus 7 is 7. 0 plus 1 is 1. 3 plus nothing is 3. Is my number 317? Yes. So I did this correctly. Let's do one more together. And then I'll let you guys have a chance to try it. Let's make our number a little bit bigger this time. Let's do the number 5,000. Let me get something that will look different so you guys can see it really well. Let's do 5,082. Notice that there is a 0 in there. 5,082. I'm going to put it in a place value chart. I have my ones place, my tens place, my hundreds place, and my thousands place. I'm going to plug my number into my place value chart. I have 5,082. I cannot forget to put the 0 in the hundreds place. Now, I'm going to break this number apart. I'm going to start with that thousands place. How many thousands do I have here? 5. So 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. I have 5,000 plus. I have 0 hundreds. Do I need to write anything if there's 0 hundreds? I could write plus 0, but I'm not going to write that, right? Because I know that's the same thing as not writing anything. So I'll just underline that to know I did that. And let's move on to the tens. I have 8 tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 5,000 plus 80. Plus, I have 2 ones. 1, 2. 2. So I have 5,000 plus 80 plus 2 is my expanded form. Now I can double check over on the side by adding 5,000 plus 80 plus 2. 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 8 is 8. 0 plus nothing is 0. And 5 plus nothing is 5. 5,082. My numbers match. I have the correct answer. Now I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to try. I'm going to give you a number. Let's say 463. 463. I'm also going to I'm going to help you put it in a place value chart. We have our ones place, our tens place, and our hundreds place. 463. Now I want you to try and take it apart by its place value to put it in expanded form. I'm going to give you 2 minutes for this. All right, so if you need more time, you can pause this, but I'm going to show you what this should be. We should have 400 plus, because I have a 4 in the hundreds, a 6 in the tens, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So 400 plus 60 plus 3. And if we were to add them together, 400 plus 60 plus 3 equals 463. Our answers match. So this is the correct answer. I'm going to leave this here for a second for you guys to see. If you need a screenshot it, take a picture of it, whatever you may need. But we need to get to expanded notation next. Excellent. So expanded notation is something that's brand new in third grade. We've never seen it before, but here's the best part about it. It's very close to expanded form. We just have to expand on it a little bit more. So expanded notation is representing a number by adding each digit multiplied by its place value. That's a whole lot of words of saying we're just expanding on expanded form a little bit, okay? So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. We'll do a couple practice together. So what we do is, let's come up with a number. Let's use the same number we used the first time, 317. We have 317. I'm going to put it in a place value chart to help me break it apart. I have my ones, tens, hundreds. I have 317. Now I'm going to break it apart, and I want to see how many of each place value I have. So I'm going to start with my hundreds. How many hundreds do I have? I have 3 100s, right? 100, 200, 300. I have 3 100. 3 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a parenthesis. I'm going to have 3 groups of, and for groups of, I do a multiplication sign, a little x. 3 groups of, how many do we have 3 groups of? 100. 3 groups of 100. I'm going to close that parenthesis and do an addition sign. I'm adding each of these sections together. Now, how many groups of 10 do I have? This digit tells me I have one group of 10. I'm going to put another parenthesis. One group of, or a multiplication sign, 10. I have one group of 10. Now I'm going to add the last place to this. I have how many groups of 1? This digit tells me I have 7 groups of 1. 7 groups of 1. There we have it. We have our expanded notation. Let's try it one more time, another time, okay? Together. Let's do the number that we're going to keep it, we're going to keep it to the hundreds place. We're going to stick to the hundreds place for right now. So we're going to do 800, 825. I'm going to put it in a place value chart. I have my ones, tens, hundreds. Plug it in. 825. I'm going to break it apart by its place value now. I have 8 groups of 100 plus 2 groups of 10, right? I have 2 tens plus 5 groups of 1. I have 5 ones. And there I have it, my expanded notation. I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to try this one. So, I'm going to give you the number. 195. 195. I'm going to put it in a place value chart for you. Ones, tens, 195. I'm going to give you guys a minute to try and solve this. If you need more time, just pause it, okay? If you need more time, just pause it. You can work with someone next to you, whatever works best for you. If you're going to need more time, that's absolutely okay. Just pause the video and work on this, and then you can check your answer. I have 1 group of 100 plus 9 groups of 10 plus 5 groups of 1. This is your expanded form. Check to see if you got it right. I'll leave it here for just a second. All right, so today we went over pictorial form. We expanded on our pictorial form up to 10,000. We did some 10,000s. We learned a little bit about the 100,000s in the place value chart, and we went over expanded form and expanded notation, both of which are brand new concepts. Some ways we can practice this at home is you can get a piece of lined paper or any kind of paper, fold it into 4s like this, and then fold it again. And you can do it like this, where you have your standard form or number form right here. Standard form, you write your number, let's say it's 317. You have place value chart, expanded form, and expanded notation. All right, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Thank you. Bye.